Here's some information for you. It's the Trump campaign on making America great again. Like he said on day one, the price of everything was going to come down. He's going to end the war in Ukraine on day one. Prices of everything have gone up, and the war in Ukraine's gotten worse, right? Here's two things I think are very telling. So Musk and Trump and Doge said they're going to make government more efficient, and they're looking into, some of the smallest agencies in government, and yet you'll notice that they haven't audited the Pentagon. They haven't even mentioned it. So the first time it was reported in the national media that trillions of dollars are missing at the Pentagon was in 2001, the day before 9/11. Donald Rumsfeld gave a speech and said, we can't track 2.3 trillion in acquisitions at the Pentagon. By the way, he described the Pentagon as the biggest threat to national security. You go watch that if you don't believe that. So let's see now. So we're trying to make government more efficient and end fraud and abuse and shrink government, make it more efficient. And it's been reported for almost 25 years that trillions of dollars are missing at the Pentagon. The Pentagon's never passed an audit. You can find an article that shows that in 2019, the Pentagon did 35 trillion in accounting adjustments. 35 trillion? That was 50 times their budget for that year, and half again more than the gross domestic product for the entire country. And yet, Musk and Trump haven't mentioned that, and there's no audit of the Pentagon. So that means that they're not trying to make government more efficient. That means they've got some other motive. Because if you're trying to make government more efficient and shrink, the size of government and the cost of government and fraud, first place you'd go is the Pentagon, right? Yet they haven't done that. That's interesting. By the way, what's more concerning is they're now talking about giving the Pentagon the largest budget in history. So let's see if we can figure that out now. So it's been reported in the national media for almost 25 years that trillions are missing. The Pentagon's never passed an audit. And Trump and Musk aren't mentioning that. They're not auditing the Pentagon, and they're talking about giving them a bigger budget. Does that make sense to you? Here's the other thing I think that's very telling about the Trump administration. So I don't think most people realize that what he says he's trying to do is create jobs, right? And he's going to put tariffs on foreign-made goods, so more things are manufactured in America to create jobs. So the goal of tariffs is to create jobs, okay? So here's some U.S. Census Bureau data. 99.9% of all U.S. firms are small businesses, and they create 90% of all net new jobs. The only agency in government to help small businesses is the SBA. The largest economic stimulus program the largest economic stimulus program in history is the Small Business Act that's managed by the SBA. And that law says a minimum of 23% of all federal contracts go to small businesses. So the easiest way to create jobs would be to expand small business programs, to do something for small businesses, but Trump's doing the opposite of that, right? So no president in history has cut the SBA budget and staff more than Donald Trump. So he campaigned on making America great again, shrinking government, making government more efficient, and yet there's more money missing at the Pentagon than every other agency combined. They haven't mentioned that. So that's the opposite of shrinking government, making government more efficient, right? That he's going to, create jobs, and small businesses create, the overwhelming majority of net new jobs. You can't find any data anywhere or anyone that will disagree with my position that small businesses create the vast majority of new jobs in America. You can't find that, right? And yet he's cutting down the SBA budget and staff and reducing small business programs. So notice that Trump is engaging in activities that are complete antithesis of what he said. He's ignoring the trillions that are missing at the Pentagon, not auditing the Pentagon and giving them actually a bigger budget. And he's cutting the SBA budget and staff, the only agency to help the 34 million small businesses where most Americans work to create 90% of net new jobs. So he's doing the opposite of what he said. Think about that. I'm Lloyd Chapman.